Hi everyone, welcome to Unacademy IELTS. Here we talk about everything important, everything that will lead you to a band 8 in the IELTS examination. Well, this class today, I'll just be giving you an introduction to the IELTS exam and an introduction to each and every section of the exam. So first of all, there are two kind of IELTS examinations. First is academic and the second exam is general training. General training exam is for people who are applying for visa or PR or people who have requirements for their job. Is the IELTS academic exam. Now the academic exam, as the name suggests, is for people going for higher studies. You could be a school student going for graduation. You could be a graduate going for post-graduation, and you could be a postgraduate going for PhD or research or any diploma, anything. Yeah. So whenever you're applying to a school, university, college, you have to give the IELTS academic exam. Now, different countries, different kind of jobs, and those keep changing. But normally, if you're applying for Canada, a desirable band score is 7778. 7 in each of the other categories, 8 in listening. Similarly, if you're applying for some of the best universities in the world, if I count Cambridge, if I count London School of Economics, and even if in Canada I talk about Peter Ray Allard School. So those universities and all the good universities in Europe and across America, they require an academic score of 8 overall, and individually also your score should be 7.5 in each category, especially in writing. Now, if you go for universities that are a little two-tier in that sense, they even admit students. I'm talking about second-tier universities, universities that are not the top universities, but they're also good. Those universities generally require somewhere around 6.5, 7, 7.5 bands. You will get admission even at 6, 6.5 bands, but if you're someone who is a very qualified student, you want to apply for the best universities, then make sure that your IELTS score is also very good. Now, once we've talked about this, how do we prepare for the IELTS examination? The simple answer is Unacademy. You don't know, like there are two options right now, okay? An offline coaching and an online coaching. If you go for an offline coaching, if you're a student, if you have that much free time, then that's okay. It's fine. There's nothing bad with it. Except how to find a reliable coaching. Some people will say that they have good result or they will have posters hanging of their students, but can you really trust them? Or will their teaching method really work for you? Or will they give you enough personal attention? Because I've seen that, like they have 15, 20, 30 students in a class and the teacher comes, teaches, just ask one or two students, okay, do you want to speak something? They'll give them a question, they'll speak, and simple. Everyone does not even get a chance there. Now, second option is online. How? Well, in India, you only have YouTube. Like, we don't have a lot of other learning platforms. On YouTube, the biggest issue is one, you can never ask your doubts. You will watch the video, write the doubts in the comment section, and you'll just hope if the person ever watches them, ever looks at them, and then they'll reply in the comment section, and there's a 99% chance they'll never reply. So on YouTube, your doubts will always remain uncleared. Second problem with YouTube, you don't know the person personally. How will you prepare for the speaking exam? You don't have any interaction. You can't contact each other. How will you prepare for the speaking exam like that when nobody is guiding you for speaking? Problem number 3, this is the biggest problem. Nobody on YouTube is verified. If you're looking for someone who's verified, who is an expert in all true sense, then YouTube is not the place for you, because anyone can get up one morning and start making videos on YouTube. And that will just waste your time, because if you don't get the right guidance, then you're never going to get the score that you need. And the fourth issue, another one of the biggest issues with YouTube, is it's full of material that is hokum pokum, like all the material that is magic. Learn 5 words to score 8 band in the IELTS examination. Does this ever happen? Can 5 words get you a band 8? Think logically, use your common sense. Or can even 50 words, exact 50 words, get you a band 8? If you don't expand your vocabulary in all the dimensions, can a one-way expansion of 50 words ever increase your score? And vocabulary is just 25% of the examination. What about fluency, coherence, task completion, grammatical range, accuracy? Without accuracy and grammar, can you ever get a good band? Think about it. So that's the problem. Here we are on Unacademy trying to provide the world's best content at the most affordable prices. And of course, there are a lot of free classes on Unacademy. Even the free classes have amazing, amazing content. So guys, install the Unacademy app. If you're someone who does not know about Unacademy, let me just write it here. Yeah. You type this on your Play Store, Apple Store, install the Unacademy Learning app, and you're good to go. And once you feel like, yeah, this is the kind of interactive live learning platform, you can ask doubts, ask questions during the class, talk to your examiner. Once you feel, yes, you're accustomed to it, like, you like it, you're feeling the hang of it, then you can think about plus courses, proper long-term course, which will focus on you and your preparation. Right, guys? So let's just move on now. Also, I am Aayushi Rajput. I'm one of the top educators on Unacademy. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Telegram, and you can follow me on Unacademy as well. Go to Unacademy once you install the app. Type the name Aayushi and follow me there so that you don't miss any of my free classes. Then you can install the Telegram app, and I have this channel on Telegram where you can talk to me. You can ask me your doubts. You can contact me about subscription, about IELTS preparation. This is the link. And you can also find the channel by searching this on Telegram. Telegram is like WhatsApp. There are groups. Okay, so this is like one of the groups. You have to search for this. IELTS by AAYUS. This is SHI. Okay, so when you type this, you have to search. You'll find the channel. This is the profile picture. Join it and talk to me there. Now, first, we will be talking about your listening exam. It is possible to score a 9 band in listening exam. It's extremely, extremely easy actually to score a 9 band in a listening exam. The listening exam is same, exactly same for IELTS General and IELTS Academic. Everything is same. So let me just tell you one thing again here. The listening exam, listening plus speaking exam, exactly same, 100% same. The writing and reading exams are different. We don't have a huge difference here, but they are a little bit different. So listening and speaking, exactly same for general and academic. Now you have 30-minute time where you will be given some headphones in the exam. You'll wear them and a recording will be playing. Now those recordings will be divided into 4 parts. Earlier they were called sections. Now they are called parts. Hardly matters, but there'll be 4 parts. That means 4 different recordings. What will happen in each of them? The first two recordings will be a little bit easy. They will be on social topics. The kind of topics that you use in your everyday life, like a phone conversation, a tour guide, something involving dates, venue, talking about a company, talking about a trip, etc. In your first recording, only one person, or you can say two people are talking. It's normally a phone conversation. First recording, two people, phone conversation. Second recording, one person, and only one person is giving instructions to the crowd or instructions to other people. Part 3 and part 4 are a little bit difficult. In part 3 of the listening exam, you have 3 to 4 speakers. Sometimes you might even have 2 speakers, but the topic is academic. What are academic topics? Topics that are related to studies, research, scientific data that can become a little bit technical. Similarly, section 4 or part 4, academic topics, only one speaker giving a monologue, giving a speech. Now, the recordings will be automated. You can't pause them, you can't play them according to your own wishes. There are some pauses in the recording automatically. There are some gaps so that you have time to turn the page, write the answer, look at the questions. But to write your final answers in the answer sheet, you will be given 10 extra minutes. So don't worry about that. Just keep listening to the recording and keep writing your answers on the question paper itself. As you move from recording number 1 to recording number 4, the difficulty level will increase, right? So 4 sections, no negative marking, 4 sections or 4 parts, you can say no negative marking. The difficulty level of the recordings will increase. First 2 recordings on social topics, last 2 recordings on academic topics. Total 30 minutes this thing will go on. From here to here, it will take total 30 minutes. After this, you have extra 10 minutes to write your answers in the final answer sheet. How does the final answer sheet look like? Nothing. It's just a piece of paper. On top, you have some columns to write your roll number, etc., and other details, okay? Now here it's divided and you have small sections or small blanks. There you can write your answers, your final answers. Now, there are different kind of questions that can be asked in the listening examination, like multiple type, math completion, diagram completion, flow chart, again note completion. Everything we will do on Unacademy and plus classes on Unacademy. Now, if you look at this chart, how many answers do you have to do correctly to get desirable band? Like most of you are looking for a 7 or 7.5 minimum. Yes? So for a 7.5 band, you need somewhere around 33, 34 answers. Correct. For an 8 band, you need to do 35 answers correctly. That means you can make 5 mistakes and still you will get an 8 band. So why are you even thinking about 5 mistakes? Let's make it perfect. No mistake at all. Yes, if only 2 mistakes, 8.5 band. 37, 38 answers correctly, you're getting an 8.5 band. And no mistake at all, 40 out of 40, 9 band. Who got a 9 band? I got a 9 band. And you too can get a 9 band. Come to me, join me on Telegram, ask me for my scorecard. You can see my scorecard, my official IELTS scorecard. So I got 9 out of 9. 9 is the maximum that you get in the IELTS examination. So I got 40 out of 40, that is 9 out of 9 in listening. So is it difficult? No. Did I prepare in a coaching? No. I was just a student. I studied at home. This is like some years ago. And I studied at home. It took me only 1 week to prepare for the IELTS examination and I did it. I cracked it actually. I cracked the exam. I understood the concept, how to do it, how to do everything smartly. And just like me, you can do everything smartly when you study with me. So join an academy, use my referral code AAYUSHI. Within 1 month, you can prepare for a IELTS examination. Only 2,430 rupees. You know how does a subscription work? Let me just show you a little bit. So these are all the subscriptions on Unacademy, like a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 or 24-month subscription. A 1 month subscription is for 2,700 rupees. Okay. Now when you use the referral code, like this is like a discount code that you have, when you use the code AAYUSHI, what will happen? You will get a 10% off. So the total amount will become 2,430. That's great, right? Very affordable, very exciting, and within 1 month, you will finish your IELTS syllabus. But if you don't know English, 1 month is good for people who know English, who are good with the English language. They just want to understand the IELTS exam pattern, practice it, prepare for it, and that's all. You know, tips, strategies, everything, and that's all. But there are some people who don't know English at all, and still they want to go abroad, they want to go for higher education, they want to apply for PR. What will those people do? First, you need to improve your English language. How? Well, it's gonna take some time, of course, it's a language, so you need minimum 3 months, and you might even need 6 months. Now a 3 month subscription is for 6,750 rupees. Now let me show you magic. What will happen when you use my referral code AAYUSHI, you will get a 10% off. But when you watch free classes on Unacademy, you get some coins. They're called credits. You can use these credits also. Apply the credits, you will get another 10% off. So instead of 6,750 rupees, how much are you paying? You're paying 5,468 rupees for 3 months. In 3 months, first you will work on your English, then you will work on your grammar, then you will work on the IELTS exam pattern, and lastly, what you will do is practice. And speaking practice, yes, on Telegram. We will call each other and we'll practice speaking. I'll guide you that. And I have my other plus students. I'll get you in contact with them so my students can practice together almost every day. So that is an amazing benefit that you're getting. Now I've talked about the band score. It's also important in the listening exam to manage your time properly. Like, don't get stuck on one answer because the audio cannot be paused. So you have to move with the recording. If you can't think of an answer and the recording is playing, forget it, move on, move to the next answer. Yeah. So that there you have to be very smart. Secondly, you have to pay attention to the instructions. In your question paper, it's always written, write the answer in one word only. Write the answer in 2 words only. Write the answer, or it can be written, write the answer in no more than 2 words. No more than 2 words and or a number. Only a number. So pay attention. If they're saying only one word, that means you can write only one word. If they're saying no more than 2 words, that means you can write 2 words. If they're saying no more than 2 words and or a number, that means a combination. 2 words plus one number. 1 word plus one number. Anything. So a combination will work here. Or you can only write the number, like 60 here, or 60 craftsmen, number plus word, 2 words, 1 word. Okay. And again, when you're writing your answers, read the entire question. Make sure that your answer is in the correct form. Like, is it supposed to be plural? Is it supposed to be singular? Those things also become important in your exam. Just a sec. Now, another thing to pay attention, especially with respect to instructions, is this, whenever in your exam, you have to choose the right option. What will you choose? For example, this is a question, which is the author's favorite season, or which is the speaker's favorite season? You have three options, and the answer is spring. What will you write in your answer sheet? Will you write spring, or will you write option B? This is your answer. When you have to choose the correct option, you don't have to write the entire word. You just have to choose the option, only the option. Okay, understood? Again, pay attention to spellings. In the listening exam, it will always happen, always. At least one word, they will tell you the spelling, and the spelling will be different from what you generally know. What is the spelling of brown, the color brown? Brown. So in the recording, two people are talking, and one person asks, well, what is your name? The other person is saying, it's Jack Brown. Then the first speaker is again asking the spelling. Is brown spelled like the color? Jack is saying, uh, no, there's a bit of difference there. It's Braun. So will you write this brown spelled as the color? No. You will write this even if it's a wrong spelling, but this is the spelling that was in your recording. So you will write the spelling that was in your recording. Then yes, maps are very important. Maps we will do in the plus classes. Very important, very difficult. I want to give you a trick. You know, whenever there's a map, keep a track of the directions are important, and keep a track of the starting point. If you find the starting point of the map when the recording starts or before the recording starts, you don't have to worry about a lot of things. Then you'll automatically get your answers correctly. This is how a question looks like in the listening exam. And but this is not your answer sheet. Answer sheet is very different from this, maps and other questions. This is not your answer sheet. This is just how the question paper looks like. Okay, so that was all about the listening exam. Let's talk a little bit, just a little bit, about the speaking exam. Okay, well, first of all, in your speaking exam, again, there are three parts. The first part, there are familiar topics from where you should practice. Unacademy, Gaurav. Unacademy, you have a lot of practice material, and I send my students practice material. Okay, so I mail the students who use my referral code enough practice material. Another option that you can have for practice is the official IELTS website. They also have some tests. Okay, so go to ielts.org or search for the official British Council IDB websites. There also you will find some tests to practice. Now, introduction and interview. This is the first part of the IELTS examination. What is happening? You will enter the exam hall. Okay, you will sit. The examiner will ask your name, your identification, like your ID card. Then they will start the exam. How will the exam start? The first set of questions that they will ask you will be on familiar topics. What are familiar topics? Things that you know about, things that you're friends with, your own topics about your life, like family, friends, hobbies, your favorite food, favorite holiday, etc. Work, education. These are familiar topics. So they'll ask you one question. You will answer the question, approximately 3-4 sentences. They'll ask you second question. You will answer it in 3-4 sentences. They'll ask you third question, you'll answer it in 3-4 sentences. Similarly, they'll ask you some 4 to 5 questions, or they can even ask you only 3 questions. Depends, each exam is a little bit different. You can't say that your exam will be 100% like this. Then part 2 is long term. What do you mean by long term? You, like the speaker, will speak continuously for 2 minutes. It's a monologue. Examiner will not talk to you. He will not interrupt you. Once he tells you to start, you will speak continuously on, and you will wait for the examiner to stop you. When he stops you, then okay, part 2 is over. In your part 2, you will get a topic. Again, it will be a familiar topic. You will get 1 minute to prepare for the topic, make some short notes, and then you have to start speaking. Now in part 3, that is discussion. Again, question answer format. They'll ask you a question, you will answer it. Now how many sentences? In part 1, I told you 3 to 4 sentences. In part 3, 5 to 8 sentences. Then they'll ask you another question. You'll again answer it with 5 to or 6 to 8 sentences. Some questions can be longer, some questions can be a little bit shorter. I don't mean to say that always stick to this, but it's better if you give long answers here in part 3 also. Now, what is the difference? Part 3 will not be on familiar topics. It will be on rather social topics or abstract topics like society, like economy, country, everything in general. Let me give you an example. If we're talking about food, this one will be what kind of food do you eat at home? Do you know how to cook? Part 1, simple questions about your life. Part 2, again about your life. What is your favorite food? Describe your favorite food. Why do you like it so much? Do you know how to cook it? Etc. Part 3. Now they're not asking questions about you. They're talking about other people. Do you think children are becoming fat by eating fast food? So they're asking for your opinion, and they're talking about other people, other children becoming fat. They're not talking about you or your life. So that is how these 3 parts are different from each other. Now, this is an example here of a part 1 question. Now, what do you not have to do? Don't give a yes and no one sentence answer. Give a long answer. You have to elaborate. You have to create more and more content in your answer. How to create content? Of course, Plus classes, Unacademy, I'll teach you there. Even on Unacademy free classes, I'll teach you how to create content. So this is an example of a part 1 style question and some sample answers. Read them. Similarly, part 2, there are a lot of tips here, okay? You can tell a story, you can lie, you can give examples, but you have to speak continuously for 2 minutes, guys. Utilizing the 1 minute time, that is the most essential element here in your speaking examination. How do you utilize this? What should you do? They've given you 1 minute time to prepare. The timer is on. What will you do? Will you look at the ceiling and just sit? Oh, I'll speak automatically. I will improvise and blah, blah, blah. I don't need to make notes. No, that's the biggest mistake. 1. Second mistake is writing everything like long sentences here. You have only 1 minute. Can you write long sentences? Just make bullet points, some quick notes. And again, effective note making, like you keep the topic in the center. Okay, food, favorite. Okay, like you can write whatever, like matar paneer or pizza or whatever you want to talk about. Then okay, some history of that food. When was the first time you ate it? Why do you like it? Everything you have to write here. Smart bullet points. My students make amazing bullet points, amazing notes. They make charts, they make figures, they make amazing notes in this 1 minute time. Then you write some examples and stories. Then you can do the PPT method, sorry, PPF method, past, present, and future. You can do the backup option method. You do those methods, you will always have a lot of content to talk about. Otherwise, people run out of content. They don't have any content to talk about in the exam. That's one of the biggest issues here. So this is a sample question and a sample answer. Now part 3, discussing big ideas. This is also a little bit difficult. Like, you have to sound interesting, you have to sound smart, you have to give your opinion. You know how many things you have to do here? You have to give opinion, you have to give recommendations, you have to critically evaluate a situation, you have to talk about future, you have to talk about past. Anything can come here. These are some sample questions with their answers. So a lot of questions will be there in the speaking examination, and that list of updated cue cards, new cue cards for 2020, we will cover all of those in our classes. Now, second thing is the marking criteria. 25% marks for fluency and coherence. What is this? When I'm speaking, I'm not stuttering, I'm confident, I'm speaking in a flow, everything is logical. That's your fluency and coherence. Then vocabulary, 25% vocab, 25% fluency, 25% grammar. So vocab, what are the two aspects in vocabulary here? First, avoiding repetition. Avoiding repetition. Don't repeat one word over and over again. If you're doing that, you will not get good score for vocabulary. Secondly, use some unique words. That does not mean that in one sentence you will add 15 unique words and they'll say, I used 5 high level words, why did I not get the better, like why did I not get a good band score? Because you learned those words and you inserted them everywhere, and the examiner can clearly see that. My students know what is the right way to learn vocabulary, how to prepare for vocabulary in the right manner. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Read and watch English movies, TV shows, and when you're watching a TV show, you suddenly the character is saying a word and you don't know what's the meaning. Pause it, write it in your book. When you get free time in the evening later on, look for the meaning of the word and make your own notes. Now start practicing that word. Make that word a part of your daily life. Learn only 10-15 words every day, not more than that. You don't need a list, only 10-15 words every day. And unless and until, like, follow this 100% rule, 100% rule for vocabulary. Unless and until you're not 100% sure about the meaning of the word, the tense and the form with which you will use the word, that means the grammar of the word and the examples, how a word is used, how good vocabulary is used in a sentence. If you don't know everything about that word 100%, don't use it. Instead of increasing your score, you will lose marks. Using words incorrectly is the biggest mistake that you can make. Grammar, very important. Different ranges of grammar, different varieties of grammar, complex grammar, simple grammar, past, present, future tenses, complex sentences, very important. And the less mistakes that you make in grammar, the more will be your IELTS score. So accuracy here is important. Then pronunciation. A lot of people, first of all, mistake pronunciation for accent. We're not talking about accent. We're not talking about the style of speaking. We just want to make sure that what you're speaking is clear, it's understandable. The speaker can comprehend what you're speaking. So some people say the word biscuit in a wrong manner. They will lose marks. Some people who do not pronounce chocolate correctly, who do not pronounce a restaurant or an almirah correctly, those people will lose marks. So when you're pronouncing something, it just have to be correct. By correct, I mean biscuit means biscuit. It does not mean biscuit. When you're doing that, you're losing marks. You don't have to be stylish, you don't have to be amazing with your pronunciation, but just basic, correct usage of the word. That's all. There are some words, some vocab. I always end my classes with a little bit of vocab to help my students learn 2-3 more words every day. So that was all. Now let's just quickly have an overview of the reading exam as well as the, what is left, writing exam. Okay, so reading and writing, as I've told you, they're different for IELTS academic and general. And the two that we've already done, that means listening and speaking, they're exactly the same for IELTS academic as well as general. Now in the general training examination, we're talking about reading here. You will have 5 short passages on the topics work, everyday life, social topics. In the academic exam, you will have 3 long passages on technical or studies related, research related topics. So academic topics, 3 long passages. General training exam, social topic, 5 short passages. Total time, in this exam also and in this exam also, total time, 60 minutes, 1 hour to do 5 short passages. There are 5 more in number, but they're short and easy. 1 hour for academic exam. There are only 3, but they're difficult and they're long. They're lengthy. Total 40 questions from all of these. Like this 3 passages in academic exam will be divided into section 1, section 2, section 3. 10 questions here, 20 questions here, or you can say 15 questions here and 15 questions here. Something like this. It can be in any order the number of questions, but total 40 questions. In the general training examination, 5 passages, that means section 1, section 2, section 3. Here you will get 2 passages, section 3, 1 passage. The order can differ a little bit, but total 5 passages. Then it's important to divide your time wisely, because okay, you have one hour time, great. But here you don't get extra time to transfer your answers, write your rough answers into the fair answer sheet. In the listening exam, you get extra 10 minutes to do that. In the reading exam, you don't get time. So the 60 minute, out of this only, you have to take 5 minutes, minus 5 to 10 minutes to write your answers. So how much time do you have now? 55 minutes, or you can say 50 minutes. Divide that time properly. Like, don't give more than 10 minutes in the general training exam because the passages are very short and easy. Only in the last passage you can give approximately 15, 16 or 20 minutes. Similarly, in the academic exam, first one 15 minutes, second one still around 18, 17 minutes. Third one, yes, you can give somewhere around 23, 25 minutes. Again, there are a lot of techniques that will help you. One such technique is skimming, to skim through the passage. Skimming is very fundamental, very essential. We'll learn that in our plus classes, and my students already know. Secondly, there are different techniques that you can use in different type of questions, like match the heading type of questions. Reading the topical sentence, leading the concluding sentence of each paragraph will help you match it correctly with the heading. So some techniques are of course very important, but what is most important? Reading carefully. If you're reading carefully, you will understand everything and you'll automatically get a better score in the reading examination. Now it's important to attempt all the questions. The more questions you will attempt, automatically the higher band score you will get. And whenever you're stuck on that question or any question, mark it, leave it. If you have time in the end, you can come back to it. So don't waste your time on one question. Another thing, what you can do is, instead of waiting till the end, now there are two scenarios. One is when you're completing one passage, you're writing the final answers in the answer sheet fairly. Next passage, fair answers in the answer sheet. You can do this. After each passage, take 2 minutes, keep writing the answers. Another option is, first complete all the passages, mark all the answers in the question paper, and in the end, write all the answers. Sometimes what will happen, you took a lot of time. The paper was lengthy, you took a lot of time. Now 55 minutes like in 55 minutes, you've completed just the paper. Now you have only 5 minutes to write in your answer sheet. You're filling the information also, guys. Imagine you're filling the information. Then you're writing carefully 40 answers, 20 here, 20 here. They're not long, but 3 words, 4 words. You have to make sure that the spelling is correct. You have to make sure that the writing is legible. I'm not saying it should be very beautiful, but the person should be able to read it. You have to make sure that the numbering is right. Don't jumble the answers. Don't write answer number 1 instead of answer number 2. So you have to pay attention. And by chance, if in the end, just due to a little bit of time, you are unable to write 4 to 5 answers, what will happen? You know the answers were correct, but you could not write them. So you will lose marks. So practice this. Whenever you are doing the reading test, practice this. Keep 5 minutes to write your answers also. And then of course, keywords. There's nothing as important as keywords in the reading examination. Keywords are the only thing that will take you to your answer. You will never be able to find the right answer if you don't understand what are keywords, how to use them correctly. Now, this is an example here. Look at this question. What syndrome can the new technology help? What is your keyword here? That means important word. Syndrome. When you find the same word or a synonym of this word in the passage, your answer will be near it. So I quickly read the passage and I'm like, okay, this is syndrome. Now I read this line carefully. Those living with completely locked in syndrome. Okay, so my answer is locked in syndrome. So that's how keywords help you with your answer, but of course you have to use them smartly. Like, don't be a fool, like always going for the keyword and finding the answer. No, smartly. Like sometimes there are synonyms and paraphrase. You have to pay attention to that as well. This is your marking criteria. Just a quick look. If you're giving the academic exam for band 8, you have to do 35 questions correctly. If you're doing the general training exam for band 7, you have to do 34 questions correctly. For band 8, you have to do 37 questions correctly. Now, just a little bit about the writing test as well. 1 second. Again, as I've told you, the writing exam is also divided into 2 categories, general, academic, and it's different for both. Okay, so in the general training examination, you have 2 tasks, 2 exercises that you have to solve. In the academic also, you have 2 tasks or 2 exercises that you have to solve. Exercise number 2 or task number 2 is same for general and academic. Essay writing, 250 words, 250 words. What is different? Topic and difficulty level. topics will be different, and difficulty level will be different. So this is the difference here. Now, task 1 in the general training exam is letter writing, 150 word limit. Task 1 in the academic exam is report writing, same 150 words limit. Now let's take each of these individually. So I'm talking about IELTS General now. In IELTS General, you have to do two things. It's an exam for 60 minutes. In approximately 15 to 20 minutes, you have to write a letter. In approximately 40 minutes, you have to write an essay. Now, talking about the letter. There are different kinds of letters. Formal, informal, semi-formal. Same thing will happen here in the exam. Different kind of letters can come in your question. So you have to learn how to write each kind of letter. The structure, format, and content. Content is something that you have to imagine. They will only give you a hint. Write a letter to your friend, talk about this. But the details of the topic you have to imagine. Again, it's an art, it's a trick, you have to learn it. Then, marking criteria, same. Task completion, that means you have to write minimum 150 words. You can write more than 150 but not less than 150. Lexical resource, that means vocab. Use good vocabulary, do not repeat words. Third, grammatical range and accuracy. Of course, the basic, don't make a lot of grammatical mistakes. Use different varieties of sentences and complex structures and complex sentences. So 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25% coherence. That means it's the same thing as fluency. Fluency in speaking, coherence in writing. Like, it should be logical. Should start with an introduction, then it should come to the main points, it should end with a conclusion, everything should look like a story, it should make sense. Things should come in a proper order. Yes, it should not be like this. The conclusion is coming in the beginning, the introduction is coming in the end, and in the middle you're talking about food, then you're talking about shopping, then you're suddenly talking about houses. Everything should be in different paragraph to make it clear. So that is coherence here. Similarly, task 2, essay writing, same marking criteria, task completion, lexical resource, grammatical range, coherence. Topics on familiar issues like work, education, traveling, family, food, business, environment, etc. Now, in the academic exam, task 2, of course, essay writing, same, writing 250 words, but the topic's a little bit more technical, and they're always asking for your opinion, always asking for your response. It's very much like speaking part 3, where you have to give your own suggestions or what do you think, which view is better. So that thing will happen here in general training exam also. You have to give your opinions. Now, task 1 of the academic exam is a report writing. How will you write a report? What will be the report on? For example, it's a bar chart, okay? Some data about the number of children eating ice creams. Okay, so this is the age group, 2 to 5, 5 to 10 years old, 10 to 20-year-olds. So 10 to 15-year-olds, okay? And this is the number of ice creams. 5 ice creams, this is 5 ice creams daily, 10 ice creams daily, 15 ice creams daily. Now you have to talk about this data. Give an overview, give a conclusion, talk about the main points in the data, main details, then go into the different issues. And what is the important point here? That children at the age group of 5 to 10 eat the maximum number of ice creams. This is the main overview here. So this is very tricky. It's not difficult, but it's very tricky. You have to understand it properly. So of course, Unacademy, yes, Unacademy Plus, or even when you're watching free classes on Unacademy, we can teach you this. So come join Unacademy, install the Unacademy app, guys. Without that, nothing will happen. The Unacademy app is the solution to all your problems. And then secondly, Unacademy learning app, install it. This YouTube channel where you're watching this video is called Unacademy IELTS. Subscribe to it. Telegram. Install Telegram. Find this page, this group, IELTS by AAYUSHI, and talk to me about your doubts and problems. So that is all for today, guys. Ghazala, to increase vocabulary, you have to read a lot. Reading every day, reading English newspaper, English books, novels. Then when you're reading it, you will find some words that are difficult. Learn the meaning of those words, write an example how to use it in a sentence, and practice it. By practicing, I mean the word that you're using today, try to make it a part of your daily life. Try to use it in different sentences. So it will become your word. You will always remember that word. Because first you learned it, you found it on a paper or in a book, so you know what is the story of the word. Second, you did some hard work to find the meaning of the word. You opened the dictionary, you found the meaning, you wrote it down yourself, learning it. Then you are repeating that word again and again by using it. This is how you learn vocabulary. You can even watch an English movie, English TV show, music. There also you will find some very good words. Write down their meanings and learn them. For everything else, come to Unacademy. Talk to me on Telegram, IELTS by Aayushi. Okay. So this is the Telegram channel. You can talk to me here on Telegram and of course Unacademy. So bye bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow.